It's Scotty Flo here from Power Surge World. And today we're going to do a pitch analysis here. We're going to do a second analysis. We're going to compare you up to Dylan Bundy. Alright? So, it was very interesting what you did is last time I said, like, you got to be more like Kershaw, essentially, right? Compared you up to playing Kershaw. So what you did, which is a lot of people do, is you looked at it. This is what I used to do. You look at a major leaguer and you literally emulate every single thing he does. Okay? So you're like, okay, Kershaw does this in the first frame. Kershaw does this in the second frame. Kershaw does this in the third frame. I want to do just like him. But you see, the problem is that to throw hard, it's the amount of force you generate through the ground and into your arm. So like with let's say like if you have bad mechanics, like how do people with bad mechanics, quote unquote, throw so hard? Like take Mark Pryor for example. You see with Mark Pryor that he threw low to mid 90s was a classic example of bad mechanics. It's because he threw mostly with his arm than with his legs. However, like he didn't generate a lot of force with his legs, so he had to use his arm, put everything in his arm, hold his arm back to generate all that torque and all that like tearing, like that's how he tore his shoulder, into the ball. But he threw really hard. Alright, so the point is that you have to generate force somehow. And obviously, like, you want to use great mechanics. You want to use safe, effective mechanics. Where a lot of people say, why is the Power Surge way better than, like, whatever, X way? Typical pitch mechanical way. Well, it's because the Power Surge way not only teaches you great mechanics, but does so in the most safe, effective way. Where if you're on the sideline, Mark Pryor was a great pitcher, right? For like 1 year though, because he always got hurt. With Power Surge, we teach you longevity first, safety first, of course, and also throwing hard, reaching your high velocity goals. Okay, so I'll take you to the analysis. Where as the start, you're leaning back. I don't really like the start position. Okay, where you go out of slice up, just like Kershaw did. You literally eliminated your leg lift, which is pretty extreme, and you just go out of the slice up. You're going to see in a second right here. Right there. Alright. So just take just 1 sec. So you're going to see again, you just go through a slide set. So with a slide set, that everything has to move super fast. The point of your front leg, where Kershaw doesn't really, like I said before, he doesn't really have a leg kick, he just has a slide step, because he goes so fast on the mound. The point of your front leg is just to bide you time for your back leg to load in position. So Dylan Bundy is a perfect example of this. Where you see Bundy, he lifts his leg, right? He's a very high leg kick. Doesn't really go forward that much at first. Now he's attacking forward. Alright, so here, now he's really loading on his back hip. So by the time he gets his force vector in line, this is right before, see right here, right before he explodes, or his force vector, which is ankle to knee, more or less in line with his front hip. Alright? While with you do a better job at this, but you're fighting. The key is you want to watch their hips. So if we just, when you do an analysis that, obviously I can't keep doing analysis with you like every single second, that you have to critique yourself. So you want to look at your total body, and you want to look at everything proximal to distal relative to your hips. Alright? So proximal is closest and distal is farthest. Alright? So proximal as in like your knees are more proximal to your hips because your knees are closer to your hips, right? Relative to your hips compared to like your ankle. So if you look at your hips, that this position right here, that's a solid position if we cut off your upper body. If we cut off from the hip, right? So if you just look at your, I'm going to zoom in on this. just look right here, just a second. If we just isolate your knees and your hips and Dylan Bundy's knees and ankles, excuse me, his knees and ankles and your knees and ankles, then it's pretty simple, right? You got a lot better. However, we look at your hips. This is the hard part. Your hips are back, while Bundy's hips are forward. They're forward. They go forward. So we're gonna watch this again. This is just like I told you before. This is a very awkward thing to feel, where if you move your hips, if you initiate through your hips, then you're going to it's going to feel really fast and be really out of control. Like when I first started doing this, first I had a decrease in velocity, and I had a huge increase in velocity, and then, but with that increase in velocity, I saw a huge dip in my accuracy because I couldn't control how fast I was going with my body. And then ultimately, I got that under control. I threw harder, I threw more controlled, etc., etc. So that's where you want to go. So your hips, like I said, you're not moving. We're going to go back to Dylan Bundy. We're going to go back to you in the beginning. Alright? So you can see your front leg, that everything's relative, right? So your front leg is going so much faster in relative to your hip, that your hip is moving at an okay speed, I guess, right? But the problem is that your front leg is flying open way too fast. Alright? So we look at Bundy. Bundy, look how much he leads with his hips. He closes off. This is similar to what you did before, where you close off your front, like your front foot, and you lead with your butt. So Bundy's leading with his front butt cheek right here. He's leading with his butt, and then by the time he's ready, he controls his front leg. This is a very hard thing to do, by the way. Like, obviously, he's a pro. He throws 95 miles per hour. He looks simple. It looks very simple. This is very hard. It takes a tremendous amount of strength and mobility. Like Dylan Bundy, you see how big his legs are? He squats like 500 pounds. He literally said he squats 500 pounds. Where he's sitting on his front leg, his back leg is controlling the fall. Where there's a thing with like dip and drive or tall and fall. There's like two typical ways. Where at power surge we do a tall, you control the fall, and then you drive out of it. So that's exactly what Bundy did, where Bundy used his front leg, his back leg, to control the fall, right? So he has all that momentum, then he drove out of it, right here. Alright, so this is a controlled fall, and then he just drives out of it. While with you just go forward, you just push everything forward. Besides your hips, right? You're too worried that it's like a scary feeling. Honestly, you literally have to let yourself fall. You have to lead with your hips. You have to close off your front leg to fall forward, just like Bundy did, and then you explode. All right? But it's definitely a lot better. You definitely get a lot better. You made a ton of mechanical adjustments really quick, which is very impressive. All right, like you do an analysis, so obviously I'm gonna nitpick on the back end side. I want you to improve. Also, keep in mind that you're on the right track. Okay, so like I said, you're here. You got, like I said, you do a good job getting your force vector in line, but you just have to go forward faster. Where if, like, the whole point of the leg lift and the load, like, this is just to get you in position to explode out. This is just momentum. This is so instead of like standing flat and then just trying to explode with no momentum at all, this is just gaining momentum and using that momentum to have you throw harder. Where, like, think of it like a basketball, where if you slam a basketball down really hard on the ground, it's gonna go up really, really quick. Alright? So, like, the harder you slam the basketball down, the faster it's gonna fly up. Alright? So with Bundy, he's really going down fast, and he's using that momentum. He's getting that stretch reflex to get out of it. At the same time, if you're too weak, that there's a fine balance where if you go too fast, even like Dylan Bundy can't control it, right? So you want to go as fast as you can in a controlled fashion, alright? So with you, it'll be like relatively slow at first, but you want to keep pushing it, keep getting stronger, keep getting more flexible, keep following the Power Surge program, and then you're going to be able to like throw harder, right? So for right now, I would just recommend you just go forward more with your hips. You just try to go a little bit faster with your hips. You close off your front leg more like Dylan Bundy is. You have to lead with your butt. You have to lead with your hips. Alright, that's a huge thing. Lead with your butt, lead with your hips, and you explode. Another telltale sign, like where with an analysis, there's indicators, alright, to see if you're doing well. So an indicator here is you want to throw hard. It's just the amount of force traveled from your foot when you hit the ground. You hit the ground right here, and the amount of force you generated right here, and the amount of torque, like to stay back, to like keep that force. That's how hard you're gonna throw. All right. So when you go, you can see right here that you go up and down. You see that? That means you're not generating a lot of force. You're struggling to get your foot through. It's better. It's a lot better. But there's really not that much of a push there. Okay. Also, I would try to. You can tell by like your strides are very long, and you're struggling with getting your hips through. Like when you land right here. Let's say you land here. Your hips are better, but you're really tilted right here when you open. Or even here, that's like 10 degrees. It's better. You had like 0 before. It's like 10 degrees of separation. With Bundy, he explodes open. He lands right here. That's like 30 degrees. Here, he doesn't have the best separation, but he's a big, bulky dude. So the thicker you are, it's like a rubber band. You put a thick rubber band and you pull it back. You have to pull a thick rubber band less back for a ball to go forward, just like on the rubber band, and a thin rubber band. All right. So because you're a lot skinnier here, right in your midsection, like obviously you're skinnier than Bundy. Bundy's like a thick dude. That you have to generate more hip to shoulder separation than him to throw it just as hard. Also, like he probably has like 30 to 40 degrees of hip to shoulder separation. Chapman has like 65. All right, so we want to shoot for that, which is just out of this world. It's a phenomenal. So let's look at some positives. So, you don't go forward with your hips, or you fly open quickly. You see the second this foot opens, your front foot opens. See, it's open right here. Go one frame back, it's closed. Now it's just completely open. With Bundy, it's open right. It's a little blurry footage. It's open right as he explodes. So you see, the second your front foot opens, you have to explode. So let's see if you do that. So do that well. But like I said, I was messaging you where you have to go more down and back. You just have to be more explosive on the backside, right? So like I said, you go forward, you go down and back. So you really low down, explode up. It's you push off the mound. All right. So if there's a mound there, you want to push the mound back. So if you watch Dylan Bundy, he really kicks the mound back. See that? He's not trying to just extend his leg. He's pushing the mound back. This is really. You see how far he travels? He pushes the mound back. And when he lands, he times his arm flip perfectly. So you see, his arm's at a right angle. While with you, I didn't see this last video, but in this video you're late. Like maybe you're trying too hard to delay your arm, where it's hard to get your foot through. Right? You land, your arm isn't completely up. Your arm has to be 90 degrees. That's a huge thing. You have to practice that. This is like, you could get hurt. And you also said before that your arm was dragging. It's even more obvious that's dragging. So here you just fly open, right? And you try to get through. You try really hard to get through, and you just push the ball forward, right? Or Bundy, look, he lands, arm cock explosion. Well, with you, you just drag, so it's going to take a lot longer. Here, there's a lot more steps in between, and then your elbow, you do not want your elbow going forward. This is a huge ordeal as well. Where if your elbow's in front of your shoulder, it's a major, that's going to be a cause of like arm injury. When you look at Bundy, his elbow's cocked back, and then throws the ball. So it's cocked back, throwing the ball. He doesn't lead with the elbow. He doesn't push with your elbow. So I feel like with you that you're so conscious of your arm dragging that you're using your arm to just push the ball forward. However, like I said before, you just have to go forward more. Just go forward more with your hips, and your lower body will take care of your upper body. So you're trying to correct yourself after you land, but really just after you land, at that point from landing to throwing the ball, it's just you just have to continue riding that momentum you gained from the explosion and from the stabilization on the front side to throwing the ball. Alright? But like I said, because you can't really get through that, you're just using your upper body to compensate. It looks a little better, but it's going to cause arm injury. It could be more accurate, possibly. But like here, you have to land like with your arm. This is the arm timing. Your arm has to land right here. It's late. It lands like this. All right. So at 10 degrees, seems like a nitpicking here, but it should really like land like there. And from there, it could also be a thing where, so like you have such a long stride that you can't get through your front side. So if you watch Dylan Bundy, his front leg lands right here. And he throws off his front leg, where he's here, his front leg extends. You see he's pulling back, and that's how he can go forward. His front leg gets out of the way, it torques back, it goes all the way back. We're going to draw this here. It goes all the way back here, so then his body could go through. So he lands, and his front hip goes back, they exchange positions. His front hip goes back, so his back hip could go forward. And he goes through. That's how he goes through and throws the ball. Oh, with you, your front leg never extends back because you can't get through. Where it's a production of your back leg is pulling your front leg back because it's so explosive. So then as a result, you can't get over your front side. That's why you push the ball. Alright, so everything goes back to the legs like I said. Alright, so I said a lot. It's 17 minutes. I've been talking for almost 20 minutes now. Hope you like hearing my voice. So we're just gonna recap quick. Where, so you can see right here, you go forward. I would go back. You want a leg kick, all right? Like obviously you don't want like a big loopy leg kick, but you do want a leg kick. Just any little thing, so it's gonna buy you more time to get your hips forward. I would just focus putting your hips forward, leading with your butt. So put your hips forward, lead with your butt. Alright, you're doing well loading on the front side, but you can even tell where your head position. You want your head to be in the middle of your hips. Like this is your hips. It should be here while it's pointed back. You see everything's back? Or Bundy's like a little bit back. Yeah. But ultimately you want to be like straight. Alright, you want to push for straight. You always want to exaggerate. Alright? So you want to push for straight and you're going to end up probably a little bit back. So you're here. You're back, right? Breathing kills you. And then you try to push forward and push the ball. Alright, so what you work on is you just have to get your hips more forward immediately. Right? Lead with your hips. Close off your front side. See, it opens up and then you just extend out. Push the mountain back. That's a huge thing. That's like a strength thing as well. When you go faster, you really have to focus more on loading your back side. Your arm, you want more scapula adduction, which means you're gonna pinch your scaps back. You're lefty, so your left scap, and then that's gonna help you get through the ball more. That's gonna strain out. You're gonna strain out your front leg quicker. All right, instead of just struggling to get through With your front side, you're just using your upper body to get through. You see with Bundy, where he closes off his front side, he leads with his butt. He does a great job at loading on his backside. He explodes out. He keeps torque. He has optimal hip to shoulder separation, like 40 degrees, and 90 miles per hour pitchers have 46 degrees hip to shoulder separation. And then he goes in and throws the ball. His front hip locks out because his back hip goes through. Alright, so that's about it. You're making, to sum everything up, you're making great progress. Just, you have to realize, like, your goal is to generate more force into the ground with your lower body and keep it back with your upper body. You have to always focus on that. That's the main goal. You can't just look at a major leaguer, emulate some photos, and be like, okay, I'm going to throw like Clayton Kershaw now. Okay? That you have to find your best way, personally, to generate as much force into the ground, and then keep enough torque, have enough hip to shoulder separation. You want enough force into hip to shoulder separation, so when you throw the ball, you're able to get through the ball, throw 80s and 90s, mid 90s, high 90s, whatever, miles per hour. Alright, so for everything you do, you think, is this going to help me develop more force? Okay? Don't just, it's not frame by frame, don't be like, let me emulate this frame. Is this going to help me develop more force? Okay? Is this going to help me develop more force? Okay, so that's about it. Keep working on your the Power Surge program that I gave you, the customized strength and conditioning program. So with people still watching this, where you could buy this program, it's this kid's having a lot of success with it already. Or you just contact me, send me an analysis. I'll do a free analysis. You can contact me about this customized program after I see your pitching analysis. All right. So if you have any questions, you can contact me at powersurgeworld@gmail.com. That's powersurgeworld, POWERSURGEWORLD, obvious spelling. powersurgeworld@gmail.com. You can send me a free analysis. I do the first 3 analyses free. As you can see, I go very in depth. Hope everyone who watches got a lot out of it. Hope you got a lot out of it. Scotty Flow.